Hey everyone, I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. I just had a little message for you. Um, I've learned that usually when people are really hard on themselves, they're really hard on other people too. I used to be really hard on people. And it took me a while to recognize why. I never thought I was hard on people because I was so hard on myself. And I felt like because I was so hard on myself, as long as I wasn't that hard on other people, it was acceptable. Now, of course, all that comes from our childhood. I know most of our parents did our best. I know my parents did our best. But I remember being really afraid to make mistakes. I was really afraid to make mistakes. There was a lot of shouting in the house, a lot of intensity. And like just a quick story, and I don't want to go too much into detail, but I remember one time I was playing with a dog outside in our backyard. And I remember we were like playing tag, it was really cute. We were chasing each other. It was my first dog. It was a Bichon because I was allergic to dogs when I was a kid. And it was from the shelter that I used to run away to. So it was really cool. It was my first dog. And it was a Bichon, hypoallergenic. And I was running around outside and I tripped over the sprinkler and I kicked the sprinkler off, and I was so afraid. I remember I peed myself a little bit. I was so afraid. And even though I was already scared, even though I already knew I made a mistake, there was still the consequence, right, from my parents of breaking the sprinkler. And if my parents are listening to this, I love you, and you taught me so many good things, and there was also a lot of love. This is just an example. I don't say this to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad. But, I got yelled at, and I was frightened. And then you fast forward to like why you're hard on people. You learn when you're a child, you're a sponge, and you learn what you think is acceptable and okay. But as I got older, especially when I started managing a lot of people, when I started, having a team of people, of employees, it's just because you're hard on yourself doesn't make it acceptable to be hard on others. I used to hear the phrase like, you have to teach them a lesson, when I was a kid. I got to teach you a lesson. You have to teach them a lesson. And your job is not to teach anybody a lesson. That's not up to you. Okay? You're supposed to teach yourself the lessons, and you learn the lessons from life, from the universe, from God, from watching the mistakes and